information and supporting independent media and civil society.
Number
10, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, we remain deeply concerned about the situation in Ethiopia and continue to engage and call upon all parties to press for a ceasefire. Since the state of emergency was declared, I've spoken with the AU High Representative Obasanjo, making clear our support for his mediation efforts, as I have spoken with President Kenyatta on Kenya and AU Commissioner Bankole similarly. I recently urged the Ethiopian State Minister Redwan to engage with these mediation efforts. Our Foreign Secretary spoke to the Deputy Prime Minister Demeke on the 5th of November, and our Ambassador has spoken with the President, Prime Minister Abe, and leaders in Tigray, consistently calling on all parties to stop fighting, declare a ceasefire, and allow humanitarian aid to flow.
Thank you, and I thank her for her answer. The conflict in Tigray has dramatically escalated in the last year. My constituents in Bath who have family detained in the capital in Ethiopia has not heard from them for the best part of this year. So can she outline what efforts have been made with the international community to ensure that all those unlawfully detained across Ethiopia are being released?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Speaker, as I said, the situation is incredibly challenging. When I spoke to Minister Redwan, I also urged him to end the mobilisation of civilians and ethnically targeted arrests. There is really a growing risk of uncontrollable ethnic violence, and it's doing a huge amount of long-term damage to the social cohesion of the country. As I said in my statement of the 24th of September, we may see this conflict move closer to Addis Ababa, and we are strongly urging all British nationals to leave now while commercial flights are readily available.
Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As chairman of the All-Party Group on Ethiopia, can I thank the Minister for all the work that she's doing on this terribly difficult issue. We recently saw the Prime Minister of Ethiopia taking arms up himself and urging others to do so, which demonstrates the seriousness of the situation. And I don't think it's an exaggeration to fear that the very existence of Ethiopia itself may be at stake and at risk. Does the Minister feel that the United Nations could be doing more to bring about peace in that country?
Mr. Speaker, my honourable friend is absolutely right. It is a truly, truly tragic situation. Civilians have experienced appalling, outrageous abuses, including widespread sexual violence as well. We are fully supporting the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights in her calls for a further timely discussion of the report of the joint investigation into human rights and its recommendations in a discussion of the UN in Geneva.
Shadow Minister Stephen
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The crisis in Ethiopia and Tigray has catastrophic implications for civilians, the region and the globe. And we've seen shocking atrocities, including war crimes and sexual violence over the past year. We're now having warnings of potential genocide from the former New Zealand Prime Minister Helen Clark and Lord Alton in the other place, and deeply concerning reports of further apparent incitement this weekend in the media, which I've raised with her. What assessment has she made of those very serious reports and warnings? What are we doing to protect and secure UK citizens who are still present in Ethiopia? And what are we doing to bring about the justice against all of those who are committing or inciting such atrocities?
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, he raises a number of points. And first of all, can I thank him for continuing to look at this serious situation. Regarding British nationals, it is really important that we keep saying that message that British nationals, whatever their circumstances, should leave the country now whilst the airport remains available and flights are there. Regarding inflammatory language, we have asked all sides not to use such inflammatory language. It is really making the situation even more dangerous, and the impact on that on civilians is very severe. We have provided humanitarian aid up to £76.7 million of badly needed support for the people in North Ethiopia. That makes us the second largest donor to the humanitarian response, and that support has gone into Tigray, Afar, Amhara and Eastern Sudan. We're the second largest donor, as I said, but it includes critical food aid, safe drinking water, medical care, and indeed support for women who have been victims of sexual violence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I congratulate the Minister for the excellent job she's doing standing in for the Foreign Secretary. There is a genocide happening in Tigray. What work is she doing with our partners in the United States, the EU and other Western countries to send a message to Prime Minister Abiy that there can be no international aid channeled through the Ethiopian government until the genocide stops? And why does he still have that Nobel Peace Prize? Is it not high time he was stripped of it?
Mr. Speaker, can I thank him for his praise? I'm not sure I'm doing that brilliantly. We are continuing to work really, really closely with our partners in the US, in the UN, and indeed I met the African P3 partners during my recent visits to New York and Washington. But really importantly, we're also supporting Obasanjo, Bankole, and President Kenyatta's efforts as well to try and bring all people to a ceasefire. Regarding a Nobel Peace Prize, that is a decision for the Nobel Committee themselves.
Ketos.
Question number 11, Mr. Speaker.
Minister.